Hare Krishna. So, is everything, it's clear to everyone why Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? How many of you remember from yesterday's discussion why Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What happened? No hands going up? No. Okay, only 2 hands went up. 3 hands, 4 hands. Okay. Okay, since your hand came up first, you tell us.
After Krishna appeared in this world and he left, so to explain how Krishna, who is appearing as a cowherd boy, is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to explain that to the whole world, the Lord appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come and show to us.
Very good. Thank you. Did everyone hear? Now everyone knows? Now let's see how many hands go up. What happened? Okay, that's better. So, yeah, it's very important to understand why Krishna came as a devotee. Another reason is, in Kali Yuga, so many unscrupulous individuals will pretend to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead decided not to come as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this age. There are so many people claiming that they are God. They get 5-10 followers, and they, through the followers, they start their propaganda. Bhagavan this, Bhagavan that. But the reality is, in this age of Kali, Bhagavan doesn't come as Bhagavan. Bhagavan came as a devotee. But still, from his activities, he becomes known who he is. Bhagavad Gita also, in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna said, Janma karma chame divyam evam javetti tattvataha. His birth and his activities are special. No matter in whichever way he comes, he becomes very special. Like Krishna, when Krishna came, he appeared. He was born in a prison of Kamsa. An ordinary child, when he is born, he gets so much facilities, so much care. But here the Supreme Personality of Godhead is coming, and he is born in a prison. And his parents are undergoing so many difficulties. Apparently. They are apparent difficulties, not real difficulties. It's like Krishna's pastimes are like something like a drama on a stage. In a drama on a stage, it may seem like one actor, the hero is going through so many difficulties. But in reality, does he go through those difficulties? It's just a show. In a drama, we have the antagonist and protagonist, the hero and the villain, right? Without this, there cannot be any drama. Drama means conflict. The better the conflict, more the conflict, better the drama. And so without conflict, there is no drama. Therefore, in this drama of Lord's pastimes, actually original drama is Lord's pastimes. So there is the antagonist. The Lord is the antagonist. The Lord is the hero, the protagonist actually. And the anti to him is the villain, are the demons. But just as after the drama, the actors become friends. On the stage it's looking like they're two extremely extremely vicious enemies. But outside the stage, they're friends. So this is also like Lord's pastimes. See how Ravan is acting, how Hiranyakashipu is acting. But ultimately who they are? Lord's associates. And drama has two purposes. A good drama is, in one hand, it's a good entertainment. Drama gives entertainment. Why does one go to see a movie? I was about to say, why do you want to go to see a movie? But then I thought it don't sound very right. So, to be entertained. And a good movie or good drama also has a good lesson, good message to convey, education. So similarly, by performing his pastimes, the Lord gives us, in one hand he gives entertainment, pleases his devotees, and he teaches some very important lesson. What is that important lesson that the Lord always teaches? That you surrender to me, I will take care of you. You go against me, I'll smash you. So that's a very simple teaching. And from that, what do we learn? Better to surrender to him. Hiranyakashipu couldn't defeat him. Hiranyaksha couldn't defeat him. Ravan couldn't defeat him. Kumbhakarna couldn't defeat him. Like, these are such powerful individuals. Ravan, before, when he was getting into this battle with Lord Ramchandra, he was trying to gather his strength. So he went to Bali Maharaj, the king of the Daityas, and he asked him, look, give me the support. I have to fight with this person. He seems to be very, very powerful. Bali Maharaj said, Ravan, don't fight with him. After all, what you have done is wrong. You stole his wife. Return his wife and stop fighting. Ravan said, I can't retreat now. We got in the middle of the war. I have done it, so whatever the consequences, I'm going to fight till the end. So then Bali Maharaj told him that, look Ravan, I have a gift for you. So he took him to a golden mountain, studded with diamonds, huge diamonds, the size of a human being, radius, 6-7 feet. Huge, beautifully studded with rows of diamonds, the golden mountain. So I said, Ravan, you carry, take it. Ravan tried to lift it, he couldn't lift it. Then Bali Maharaj told him, you know Ravan, you know what this is? This is the earring of Hiranyaksha. And that Hiranyaksha was killed by him. This Ram that you are contesting with, he killed that Hiranyaksha. So you can well imagine how powerful he is. So give up this fight, make friends, make compromise with him. But Ravan was so adamant, he said, no, I can't retreat. And you know the consequence. Ravan was killed. So that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So better to just surrender to him. The first consideration is believe that he is there. That's the first thing. That's the biggest hurdle to cross actually. To have implicit faith that He is there. He is there. He is. Although we cannot see Him, but He is there. Although we cannot see Him, He sees us. He is omnipresent. He is omniscient. So much so that He is in our hearts. Who can be closer than that? In a way, He knows about everything about us, even better than us. What we even do not know about ourselves, He knows that. So that is how cognizant He is. So why not surrender unto Him, especially when we see that He is taking care of us in so many ways, in such a wonderful way. Anyway, so to go back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, so the personality that we are discussing about, who is He? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme, that Supreme Personality of Godhead. He came as a devotee. Therefore, it's difficult to recognize Him, but there is a way to recognize Him. How? When we see Him through the eyes of His devotees, then we recognize Him. That is the way to recognize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, we'll be confused. Otherwise, we'll be completely bewildered. So yesterday we discussed about Lord's childhood pastimes leading to His youthful pastimes, defeating Keshav Kashmiri. See, in this way He established Himself as the greatest scholar of India. Like Keshav Kashmiri defeated all the scholars of India, and He defeated Keshav Kashmiri. So what does it mean? He is the greatest scholar. And He didn't even get into any contest with Keshav Kashmiri. He didn't get into, as they say, debate with him to defeat him. Just very easily pointing out some faults in his composition, He defeated him. The Lord took sannyas at the age of 24. And He left home. Those days when somebody took sannyas, that was the end. Nobody could see him after that. Because those days there was hardly any communication. There was no railway system, there was no aeroplanes, there was no cell phone, there was no internet, there was no email. So when somebody left home, that's it. Generally people stayed in their own village, did not travel very much. At the most they went and traveled to some place of pilgrimage. And when one took sannyas, he would just keep traveling from one place to another. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, but Nityananda Prabhu felt that he should be brought back to Navadvip, because he could understand that how the residents of Navadvip must be feeling due to his separation. So Nityananda Prabhu tricked him, made him lose the way, and brought him back to a place called Ambika Kalna, which is just opposite to Shantipur. Shantipur is the place where Advaita Acharya was. So in this way, Nityananda Prabhu tricked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and brought him back to Shantipur, and he sent a message to Mayapur that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to Shantipur. So all the residents of Mayapur, Navadvip, came to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The only person who didn't come was Vishnu Priya Devi, because it is not befitting for a sannyasi to see his wife of his previous life. So that's why she didn't come. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met his mother, Sachimata, Mahaprabhu became very, very repentant that my mother, I made a mistake. Leaving you alone at home, I have taken sannyas. It was quite unfair of me. I should have taken care of you. And actually it's true. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he left, when he took sannyas, in his house there was his old mother and young wife, and no male member to take care of them. So, and those days it was very difficult for just two guardianless women to be there. But Prabhupada said, taking sannyas in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us that if you give up everything, if you give up your family for the sake of serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, don't worry about it. The Lord will take care of them. Of course, don't get me wrong, I am not really insinuating that the householders give up their household responsibilities and become sannyasis. But this is what Chaitanya Srila Prabhupada said. Mahaprabhu taught us that when you are serving Krishna, don't worry about your old mother and young wife. Krishna will take care. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very repentant that my mother, I left you unprotected in this way and I made a mistake. So I'll give up my sannyas and take care of you. But Sachimata, as an ideal mother, what did she say? No, my son, don't do that. That will be such a disgrace to you if you take sannyas and then give it up. Now that you have taken sannyas, stay fixed in your sannyas order. But stay close by so that I can get your news. And Sachimata suggested that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri. And in Jagannath Puri, because from Jagannath Puri the pilgrims would come to take bath in Ganga, and the residents of Bengal would go to Jagannath Puri to attend Jagannath's chariot festival. So this way there would be people going back and forth, and this is how she would get the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So because of her request, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Jagannath Puri. So with this 4 associates, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri. And on the way, Nityananda Prabhu, once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to take bath, and he left his danda with Nityananda Prabhu in a river called Athero Nala. And Nityananda Prabhu, looking at the danda, he's addressing the danda, he said, who do you think you are? The personality who is the controller of the entire universe, he will carry you. Who do you think you are? Saying that, Nityananda Prabhu broke the danda and threw the danda in the river. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very upset. And he said, what do you think? My sannyas is a joke? First you misled me, and instead of I was going to Vrindavan, and you misled me and brought me back to Shantipur, and then now you broke my sannyas danda, and I'm not going to stay with you all. Saying that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left them behind and ran towards Jagannath Puri temple. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived in Jagannath temple in Puri, seeing Lord Jagannath, he felt such overwhelming emotion that he fainted. And this fainting is one of the ecstatic symptoms. The ultimate ecstatic symptom is actually this, which is like death, becoming totally unconscious. So much so that practically all the symptoms of life stops in the body. At that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a great scholar. He was the chief scholar of the court of King Prataprudra, the king of Orissa. Very powerful king. At that time, the whole of India was subjugated by the Muslims, were taken over by the Muslims. But Prataprudra was the only king, only Hindu king, whom Muslims could not defeat. Hussain Shah, the king of Bengal, often attacked Prataprudra, but couldn't defeat him. So Prataprudra, Pratapradra's Sabha Pandit, the chief scholar of his court, was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a great scholar considered to be the greatest exponent of Vedanta philosophy of that time. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya just happened to be in the temple at that time, and when he saw this young sannyasi fainted, it looked like he was dead. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took some cotton wool and kept it in front of his nose. And he saw the cotton wool was softly moving. So from that he could make out that he is still alive. And he arranged for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be carried to his house. So in this way Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house, and in the meantime Nityananda Prabhu and others came looking for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They came to Jagannath temple, and upon inquiring about this young sannyasi who may have come there, he was informed that there was one young sannyasi, very handsome. He fainted seeing Lord Jagannath, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has taken him to his house. And so they all went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, and they found Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still unconscious. And they started to chant the holy name, and upon hearing the chanting of the holy name, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his senses. So at that time in Jagannath Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's brother-in-law, Gopinath Acharya, also was there. And Gopinath Acharya knew who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was because he was from Navadvip. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also was from Navadvip, but he settled down in Jagannath Puri. And Gopinath Acharya knew who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took a lot of compassion, became very compassionate towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he saw a young sannyasi, so handsome. But he became quite concerned about him also, that he took sannyas at such a young age. He is so handsome, and he seems to be so emotional. He chants, he dances. Therefore, he became concerned that he may not be able to maintain his sannyas. Because sannyasi must be grave and would not even look at anything or do not act in a frivolous way. But he felt that this young sannyasi is so frivolous. He couldn't understand the ecstatic symptoms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he decided to educate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Vedanta, teach him Vedanta. Gopinath Acharya told him, Sarvabhauma, what are you talking about? Do you know who he is? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, well, I accept that he is a very exalted personality. He is a very exalted saintly personality. But Supreme Personality of Godhead, come on, I can't accept that. So Gopinath Acharya told him, look, to recognize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you need proper vision. Unfortunately, you don't have that vision. So generally, brothers-in-law have a kind of a humorous relationship at times. They joke with each other or pull each other's legs. So, in this way, Gopinath Acharya said, "You're blind. How will you see the Supreme Personality of Godhead?" So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead doesn't come in the age of Kali. He comes at the end as Kalki Avatar, but otherwise there is no incarnation of the Lord in this age. Gopinath Acharya said that in this age of Kali, he comes hiding his identity. Therefore, he is called Trijuga. He comes in three Jugas. And because he came hiding his identity, a personality who is devoid of devotion to the Lord cannot recognize him. The way to recognize him is through the eyes anointed with love. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanina. So, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, look, I'm very concerned about him. That's why I'm saying that I will give him Vedanta, I'll teach him Vedanta, and by understanding Vedanta, he will become fixed up in Brahman realization. He'll understand Aham Brahmasmi, and this Jagat is Maya. Gopinath Acharya was very upset. So they had a big argument. But eventually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard that, he said, look, he's my well-wisher. He wants to take care of my sannyas order, secure me properly. So, yes, I'll study Vedanta philosophy under him, Vedanta Sutra under him. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started to teach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the Vedanta Sutra, explaining the Vedanta Sutra. Sutra means aphorisms, and he was explaining. Those are like formulas or sutras. In short words, the main understand, the essence is given, but then it needs to be elaborately explained to properly understand. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started to explain Vedanta Sutra to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for 7 days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat there listening to him without saying anything. He didn't say yes or no, or didn't have any question. So eventually Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya began to wonder whether he is understanding what he is talking about. So he asked Krishna Chaitanya, do you understand what I am saying? So very humbly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you see, I understand the sutras, but the explanations that you are giving, I don't understand. So he said, look, to make the sutra understand, there is explanation. So what do you mean by you understand the sutra but do not understand the bhashya or commentary or explanation? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that your explanation is not revealing the sutra. Your explanation is covering the sutra. He's not giving the real meaning of the sutra. He's giving your concocted ideas of the sutra. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was quite upset because he was in his late 60s, such a respected scholar and so exalted that even sannyasis used to come from distant places to study Vedanta Sutra from him. And here this young sannyasi is finding fault in his explanation. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya chastised him. Then finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, look, please explain this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained that verse. It's called Atmaram verse. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the real understanding of the verse. Actually the verse is saying, Atmaramascha munayo nirgrantha api urukrame kurvanti ahaituking bhakting itham bhuta gunohari. That is, Atmaramascha munayo, the great thinkers and philosophers who became completely free from all material bondage. Nirgrantha api urukrame. That means they are liberated souls. The saintly personalities who have become liberated from the material bondage, and those who are Atmaramascha, they are deriving their joy from within themselves. That is, they are free from material bondage and they are deriving transcendental bliss from within. Even they become engaged in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is how wonderful the characteristics and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. The point is that you are saying that liberation is the ultimate goal. But here it is saying the liberated people become engaged. After liberation, they become engaged in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was defeated. And he was very, very upset, very hurt that he had to accept defeat from such a young 24-year-old boy. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya locked himself up, did not eat anything. He was feeling so hurt, so upset, so feeling so bad. Then in the middle of the night, he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu standing in front of him. He displayed his 6 arms. With 4 arms, he is holding conch, lotus, mess, and disc. And in 2 other hands, he was holding the danda, sannyas stick of the stick of a sannyasi, and the water pot, indicating that he is a sannyasi. And then he also showed him those 6 arms, indicating with 2 arms he was holding the bow and arrow of Lord Ramchandra. Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Gaur Premanand. Holding the bow and arrow of Lord Ramchandra. He was holding, with 2 other hands, he was holding the flute, that is Krishna, and with 2 other hands he was holding the sannyas danda and the water pot of a sannyasi. So then he could recognize that this personality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is none other than Lord Ramchandra and Krishna Chandra. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, offering obeisances to him, composed 100 prayers in offering, known as Sarvabhauma Shatakam. And the first one goes like Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Shikharthameka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhirjas Tamaham Prapadde. In order to teach Vairagya Vidya, the the science of renunciation, which is his own devotion, Nija Bhakti Yogam. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted sannyas, the renounced order of life, he is saying, in order to teach the science of renunciation, this personality, who is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari. He appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is an ocean of mercy, Kripam Buddhi. I offer my obeisances unto him. So in this way we can see that the greatest scholar of those days, who did not initially want to recognize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, eventually he did. That is how we can see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a very nice way of recognizing him. It's not getting some cheap followers and saying Gurudev Bhagavan hai, or Bhagavan, like there are so many Bhagavans nowadays. They are all Falgu Bhagavan and cheating Bhagavan. But the real Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead, came hiding his identity, but his devotees could recognize him. So, another person who also initially did not recognize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or did not accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but eventually recognized him, was the king of Orissa, King Prataprudra. So that is, like, I won't get into that details of that episode, but please read Chaitanya Charitamrita and you'll see. The one thing that I would like to discuss, which is very important, is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about Ramananda Roy. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya began to recognize the greatness of Ramananda Roy. Previously, because he was not accepting devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead being the highest spiritual development, he could not accept, he could not recognize great devotees like Ramananda Roy. Like often these people think that devotees are a bunch of sentimentalists. They don't realize that actually, it is a kind of sentiment because it is a genuine emotion towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like when one is in deep love, how does he behave? Especially when one is in deep love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his behavior becomes quite unpredictable. So that is why the devotee's behavior often is misunderstood by these scholars and so-called thinkers and philosophers. So Chaitanya, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to South India, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told him that meet Ramananda Roy. He is the governor of Andhra Pradesh. That part of India was under the ruling of the king of Orissa. It was a part of Orissa at that time, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling towards South India, and Ramananda Roy was the governor of that place, appointed by the king. So he suggested that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Ramananda Roy. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting under a tree on the bank of the Godavari river. And he saw that one royal personality coming in a palanquin. So many Brahmins were following him, chanting mantra. So he came and took bath in the river, holy river Godavari. And then he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting on that, under a tree. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also saw him. And both of them recognized each other. And they embraced. Everyone was quite surprised to see that, because a sannyasi, one person is a sannyasi and the other person is a royal governor. So why they're behaving like that? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also saw that this is not going to be a right place to talk. So Ramananda Roy also understood that, so he suggested that he would come again. So later on, Ramananda Roy came just with one Brahmana companion. And he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they started to speak, they started to discuss. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Roy, Ramananda, what's the ultimate goal of life? So Ramananda Roy replied that ultimate goal of life is to follow Varnashram. And he quoted a verse from the scriptures saying that Varnashram, following the Varnashram dharma, is the ultimate goal of life. Varnashrama charobata purushena parah puman Vishnur aradhate pantha nainang tattosha karana. Only through Varnashram one can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Mahaprabhu rejected that. He said, no, that's external consideration. That's not the ultimate goal. It's all material. Following the Varnashram is actually materialistic consideration. Then Ramananda Roy mentioned that the Karma Yoga is the goal of life. And each time he was saying something, to substantiate that, he was quoting scriptural evidence. The scripture is saying that. It's not that I am saying it. The scripture is saying that. And he quoted from Bhagavad Gita to substantiate that. Jat karosi jadasnasi jat juhosi dadasi jat jat tapushoshi konteya tat kurusha madarpanam. Karma Yoga. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give in charity, whatever austerities you perform, do it for mine. Just offer the result of those actions to me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected that also. Then Ramananda Roy spoke about rejection of karma, karma tag. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvang sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami masucha. Mahaprabhu rejected that also. That's also external. External means these are not the ultimate, these are all material considerations. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya mentioned about Jnana Yoga. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Sochati Na Kankshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakting Labhate Param. Mad Bhakting Labhate Param. Krishna is saying in that stage one receives my transcendental devotional service. But Ramananda Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected that also. He said, no, this is also external. And he was explaining why these are all external considerations. I am not going to the details. But then Ramananda Rai told him about pure devotional service, even free from jnana and karma. Anna bhilashita sunnam jnana karmad anabritam anukullena krishnanushilanam bhakti ruttama. Mahaprabhu said, yes, that's right. But tell me what's beyond that. Now he accepted, because this is a platform of pure devotion free from jnana and karma. There are mixed devotions. Devotion mixed with karmic desire. The devotional service mixed with knowledge, endeavor for knowledge or jnana. So they are mixed devotion. But pure devotion is free from these consideration of karma and jnana. This time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, that is true. Now tell me what is beyond that. Then Ramananda Rai spoke about Shanta, devotional service in Shantaras. Mahaprabhu said, yes, that's right. Tell me beyond that. Devotional service in Dasyaras. Yes. What is beyond that? Devotional service in Sakhyaras. Yes, that's true. Tell me what's beyond that. Devotional service in Vatsalyaras or parental love. Yes, that's right. Tell me what's beyond that. Devotional service in conjugal love. So Ramananda Rai, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted that. And then he said, tell me what is beyond that. Ramananda Rai said, I didn't know anybody who could say what is beyond that. But while you are asking me the questions, you are also empowering me. So if you so please me, if you are pleased with me, then please provide the answers also to your own questions. Saying that, then Ramananda Rai started to describe that in Rasa dance, Krishna was dancing with 16,000 gopis. And there was one Krishna between two gopis. But in the center, Krishna was dancing alone with one gopi. So that gopi must be very special. And when that gopi became upset and left the Rasa Mandali, Krishna left all 16,000 gopis and followed her. So she must be very special. And who is that?
Radharani.
Very good. And so, in this way, he established that the devotion of Sriman Sriravati Radharani is the highest. And then he went on further by saying that Radharani is the manifestation of Krishna's Mahabhav, and Krishna is Rasaraj, the king of all the mellows, and the highest of all devotional mellow is personified in Srimati Radharani, and that Krishna and Radharani became one. The energy and energetic became one. So at that time, Mahaprabhu covered his face with his hands. Said, okay, fine, you don't have to tell anymore. Because now his identity is about to become revealed. So who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? The ultimate manifestation of devotional service. Srimati Radharani's mood and personality has become one with him, with Krishna. And that is Sri Chaitanya. Gaur Premanande Hare. Does anybody have any question?
Maharaj, in conjugal relationship, we don't glorify Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in Maharaj, when gopis got separated from Lord Krishna, they sang a song popularly known as Gopi Gita, which we quite often sing first 5 verses. So why have they glorified Supreme Lord in that song when in conjugal relationship they are not supposed to glorify, so they have glorified.
Who said in conjugal there is no glorification? Where did you get that?
Yesterday we were discussing in the class, in the conjugal relationship, we don't glorify Supreme, the gopis at that level. Because they are his Swarup Shakti.
But you yourself are saying in Gopi Gita they are glorifying.
Yeah, so that is my question. Why have they...
So that's my question also. Where did you get that there is no glorification? In love there is glorification. How can there be not glorification in love?
Because in Vrindavan, yesterday we were discussing in Vrindavan, the devotees,
Okay, I get it. The recognition. As also I mentioned yesterday, that this, not remembering or recognizing the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not out of ignorance, out of love. It's not that they do not know that he is. It's, as the example I gave, it's not that the mother doesn't know that her son is the Prime Minister. But she doesn't treat him as the Prime Minister. She knows he's the Prime Minister. But her treatment is not like. Because that loving relationship is in another platform. But in Gopi Gita they're actually, now they're remembering Krishna and they're begging, they're asking, why did you leave us in this condition? Like, Jayati te dhikang, Janmana braja, Shrayata indira, Shashvadatrihi. Ever since we have taken birth in Braj, Vrindavan, Lakshmi Devi is eternally staying here. In this way, you have created such good fortune for everyone just by being born in Vrindavan. But then why did you plunge us in this miserable condition? So they are kind of, in a lamenting mood. They're saying, why are you doing this to? Like, you are so merciful. But look what you're doing to us. The next one is Saradudashaye Sadhu Jata Sat Sarasi Jodaro Shri Mushadrisha, describing his beauty. You're so beautiful. Your beauty excels the most beautiful things of this world. And we are your unpaid maidservants. Ashulka dasike. Neha king badha. Why are you killing us? We are your unpaid maidservants. We are serving you with all our love and ability. And look what you are doing to us. By not giving us your darshan, you are killing us. In one way you are so magnanimous, but if you kill your unpaid maidservants, what will people tell you? What will people think of you? So this is how they are actually expressing their, inner feelings towards him. It's not that they do not know, but it's not, to them, that identity of the Lord is not important. Because love prevails that awe and reverence. Any other question? Yes?
Could you elaborate a little bit of importance of Nityananda?
Importance of Nityananda Prabhu, very good. ব্রজেন্দ্র নন্দন যেই শচী সুত হইল সেই বলরাম হইল নিতাই. Brajendra Nandan Sri Krishna became Sachinandan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Balaram has become Nityananda Prabhu. Elder brother. And as elder brother, he is protecting him, younger brother taking care of him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give Krishna Prem, and the sole distributor of that Krishna Prem is Nityananda Prabhu. He came with Premer Bonna Loiya Nitai Ailo Gaura Deshe. Dubilo Bhakoto Jano, Dubilo Bhakoto Gano, Dino Hino Bhashe. With an inundation of love, Krishna Prem, Nityananda Prabhu came in Gauradesh. And those who are devotees, they got drowned in that flood, inundation. And those who are non-devotees, they got swept away. Nobody could escape that flood of Krishna Prem. So this is how Nityananda Prabhu distributed Krishna Prem. And Hano Nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna paite nai. Without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, one cannot get the mercy of Radha Krishna, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, nahi anna. So this is how with Nityananda Prabhu, through Nityananda Prabhu only, we can get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bypassing Nityananda Prabhu, there is no way we can approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One example is Raghunath Das Goswami, a son of a very, very wealthy person, became attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although he was the son of a king, he was running away from home to be with Chaitanya. And his father's men went and caught him and brought him back. So then one day he got the news that Nityananda Prabhu was there in Panihati, a place not too far from his place, on the bank of the Ganges. So he went to see Nityananda Prabhu. And when he went to see Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu was told that Raghunath is offering obeisances, then Nityananda Prabhu's response was, "Oh, bring that thief." So he was brought, and Nityananda Prabhu gave him the punishment that, "You thief, you have to feed me and my people with chipped rice and yogurt." So that is the famous Chiradodhi festival of Panihati. Why did Nityananda Prabhu call him a thief? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is his property. And bypassing him, he was trying to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, we can get a clear understanding that if we want to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we want to receive the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to go through Nityananda Prabhu. All right? Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hare.